Just one more day. Just one more challenge. Pray for the swap, the shuffle, the switch, an expansion, a disbanding. Pray for the merge. Just one more day.
Same old crap. I just can't take this.
Russell, you've been going on, breaking pots, talking to I don't know who, if you're talking to God.
I'm talking to God, Lord. I mean, Jeff.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Peridiam, and dear God, this video is gonna get painfully desperate. Manu is a pretty terrible tribe, right? It's not just me noticing this. You know, come to think of it, we've had some pretty bad tribes over the course of Survivor's long history, and after watching another episode where another pretty dismally performing tribe had to yet again vote off one of their own, I'm starting to wonder, just how bad are they really? Would someone out in the cosmos be mad enough to sit down and take stock of all of the worst performing tribes through nearly 40 seasons of the show just to try to answer that one simple question? Well, I wouldn't. But because I am mad for Survivor, I did. In this video, I went ahead and looked at the worst performing tribes in Survivor's history, and let me tell you, this took a long time. How many challenges did they compete in? That's a question I asked. How many times did they win those challenges, or more likely lose them? Is there objectively a worst tribe out there? Of course there is, so let's find it. Now, I could make this list subjective, as in the tribes I consider the worst, but to be honest, a lot of these tribes are utter train wrecks, and I kind of enjoy that more often than not, so perhaps my least favorite tribes would be a better name for a different video topic in the future. This video is gonna try to be more objective. However, there are a few things to note when taking into account the win-loss record of a tribe. First of all, many tribes with terrible reputations such as Fang or Malolo had several iterations over the course of the season. Yeah, they may have lost a couple of challenges out of the gate, but then a swap hit and they still continue to lose anyway, despite maybe like half their tribe being completely new people. For this video, I'm going to be including the tribe names as a single unit, meaning every iteration for the entire pre-merge. So Malolo, for example, had 3 different versions exist, and all 3 will be counted just as Malolo. Likewise, some tribes barely existed at all for like 1 or 2 episodes out of the gate before taking a completely different name or color, so I didn't include them. Overall, I think this is a pretty simple way to figure out the best and the worst, and in a moment, I'm gonna share with you what I found, but let's go one step further. We have to go one step further. So just to give you guys a heads up, I have 12 tribes here on the table vying for the #1 worst tribe status. I decided to take a deep dive into these 12 tribes to figure out just how bad the OG original members of these tribes really were. For example, again, not picking on Malolo, but with Malolo, their original tribe only lasted for 2 votes before a shuffle happened. The original Malolos continued to get voted out after losing challenge after challenge, and so I calculated all 10 of the original members' winning percentage in challenges for the entire season, ultimately finding the average for all of them over the course of the season. This number gave me a relative idea of how strong they were as the OG tribe. It's not perfect, but I do think it's kind of interesting, and there is something to it. I then took the first ranking, the simple one where you just looked at the win-loss ratio, combined it with this overall individual percentage of winning. I combined these 2 lists together to find a happy average, and here we are. The worst performing tribes in Survivor history.
I was so quick to give up that damn Ulong buff, and it's not anything against Ulong, it's just I'm so done with that. This is a new chapter in my life, I feel like. I'm ready to start winning with Karor.
So let's start at the very bottom, or is it the top of the list, with the objectively least bad tribe of the bunch. Ready to have your mind blown? You guys, you might get blindsided. Of the 12 tribes I looked into, it turned out the best tribe of this group was none other, I can't believe I am saying this, it was Fang from Survivor Gabon. How did that happen? They are not the worst, they're actually the best of these 12. Fang surprisingly had 4 of 13 wins under their belt, putting them at second best in the win-loss ranking, believe it or not, while also having the best overall challenge showing among all 9 of their original members. Susie even carried the day, winning 2 immunities in the post-merge alongside Kenny with 1. I mean, don't get me wrong, Gota absolutely mopped them as their rival, but believe it or not, 4 out of 13 isn't even close to bottom of the barrel for this video. I mean, it's terrible in the big picture, but that's not the point.
But Gota's problem seemed insignificant compared to Fang's. After only 6 days, the Red Tribe was starting to look like one of the worst tribes in Survivor history.
This tribe is hopeless. They're idiots.
We're gonna keep going from there. I'm just gonna keep laughing. Number 11 in this worst performing tribes ever is actually, I just talked about him, it's Malolo from Survivor Ghost Island. I'm not even giving you much color commentary with this entry. Orange is the new L, as they did a great job going 3 for 11 and sitting at number 9 in the overall tribal win percentage ranking. That said, it is not all bad, as individuals that are OG members actually performed better than any of the tribes in this video. Basically, Malolo was just a cursed tribe name, and the people involved shouldn't feel that bad. Sorta.
We still know we're one of the best tribes of all time. One loss does not mean a history of losses. We're gonna come back from this.
I think most people would probably say it's a bit of a statement to say that on day 3, we know we are one of the greatest tribes of all time.
Number 10 is an immensely dysfunctional tribe that I personally have a soft spot for, but yeah, as it stands to reason, they didn't do a great job. It is Zhan Hu, John Robert, from Survivor China. Remember that tribe? Crazy Dave, PG, Steve, Chicken, Morris. Damn! They consistently ranked at 10th place on both tribal win-loss records, as well as where their OG members held up. Bear in mind, out of 12, you'll want to be at the bottom. 12 is the best here, 1 is the worst. I'm ranking them from best to worst. As a tribe, they went 3 for 10, and individually, they won about 30% of all the challenges they faced, which isn't great, but it's apparently better than what comes next. Because what comes next is a huge gap between Zhan Hu and number 9 and really the rest of the list. From here on out, this video, it's gonna be like one long mudslide of terribleness to the bottom. So brace yourselves. It's about to get dirty.
For example, again, Ashley, every time she says something, you have a comment back.
And now look what happened. Now I'm on the chopping block.
Ashley, what's the criteria for your vote tonight?
I'm voting for Dave.
In my opinion, one of the most dysfunctional tribes, maybe even the most, is number 9 at worst performances ever. It is Luzon from Survivor Cagayan. The shit for brains tribe, as Cass like to say. They only competed as a tribe for 5 challenges before being dissolved, and they only won once. Half their tribe is just sitting with 1 win under their belt, but given they are a small tribe of just 6, and the other half is Tasha, Spencer, and Cass, who went deep into the game, they ultimately were spared from being the absolute worst. And hey, Spencer actually won 9 competitions. Go Spencer. 0% chance of being at the bottom.
That's why they had people guarding you. I was like the mental patient, and then you left the mental patient alone, and I went crazy. That's what happens when you leave crazy people alone.
Number 8 is kind of a weird one. It's Gota, the fans tribe from Survivor Caramoan. Half man, half fan. This tribe only had 2 wins before the swap, whereupon they basically became a completely different tribe in shape and essence, going on to win all 3 swap challenges. So I'm gonna be honest, I'm technically cheating with this one, as I didn't include the swapped Gota tribe into their winning percentage, because 2 of 8 is just more exciting than 5 of 11, but if I had been fair, as I have been for all the others, Gota technically has the best win percentage as a tribe in this grouping, sitting at 45%, which is pretty good. Overall, I have their original iteration right next to Luzon, totally dysfunctional, totally divided, and pretty much in the middle of the pack.
I'm gonna say exactly what I feel. You guys are worthless in challenges, you need me if you want to win, and if you don't keep me around, you'll maybe get juror 1 or juror 2. And it felt so good to just be honest.
As far as Manu, or whatever you want to say, from Edge of Extinction goes, as of this video, they are currently ranked right around here, going 1 for 4 in the pre-swap, 2 for 5 in the post-swap, though part of the reason why I wanted to track individual OG member performances is because Lesu is entirely Manu in shape and form, just without Wendy. So after all is said and done with Edge of Extinction, come back and check the description for this video. I will update their final stats both as a tribe and with their original members. But yeah, not great, currently looking to be like bottom 10, possibly even bottom 5 if it keeps going downhill.
Lesu proves to be as good at losing as Manu. We can't do anything to get on that winner's podium, and now we have to cannibalize ourselves like someone's going home.
On the one hand, it was really great swapping with all you guys, but on the other hand, now here we are.
And now for something completely different. You guys, the next entry, number 7, is the numbers talking, not me. I want to make that clear. I am not the one dictating who gets what in this shit show for last place. Number 7 is basically the entire pre-merge of Palau. It is Ulong. What? Not at the bottom? Not number 1? How is that possible? Peridiam, excuse me, Ulong lost every challenge. Well, no, technically they didn't. If we were just grading on immunity wins, yeah, okay, sure, they're easily last place, no question, but technically Ulong won 3 challenges of 14, all for award to their dismay, but that's something. I would argue that if you asked me who is the most dysfunctional tribe in the history of Survivor, it's Ulong. I think it's easily Ulong. Unfortunately for them, they had an entire pre-merge to go on losing, not even getting the chance to swap. Usually I dread the swap. For them, it's like a mercy kill. So I guess the legend that Ulong is the absolute worst may not entirely be the case, at least as far as challenge prowess goes. Yeah, you think about it, they can't even be the worst at that. They are so the worst.
How much do you scratch your heads at this? Because it's not like you're taking on the same 4 people. You've taken on different combinations of Krorin every single time they've whooped you.
We don't come back, after a challenge, after we lost, and start jumping up and down and giving each other high fives on losing. This isn't fun.
Number 6 is the original disaster tribe in Survivor history. It is the Maraamu tribe from Survivor Marquesas, a group of people featuring challenge beasts such as Peter Harkey, Patricia Jackson, and even the one and only Sarah Jones. Maraamu set the stage for these kind of tribes to even exist, and so I guess, well, thank you. I mean, it had to happen eventually. They only won 3 of 10 challenges, but even then, they sport an impressive 17% win rate among their original members, the lowest of any tribe in this video. 17%. 17%! Ugh. For shame, Maraamu.
It was quite evident that Sarah wasn't doing anything at all. Sarah's arrival was almost like Cleopatra. It was like...
Number 5 came out of left field, but hey, upon rewatching this season, I can't say I'm that surprised. Between aquadumps to standing on your stool to, well, everything Alicia, number 5 is the absolutely train wreck of a tribe that was Tang, the Baran tribe from Survivor Ko-Rong. Tang won only 1 challenge of 5 challenges, similar to Luzon, but they had a slightly lower individual win percentage, which brought them down just a tad. While perhaps Scott and Jason had some unity, I really just can't say much for everyone else. But they certainly gave us a great highlight reel, especially in the pre-merge. At least they brought some drama and entertainment as their world burned down around them.
Okay. Please trust the original alliance we had. Nothing has changed. I think the 4 of us can go far, ridiculously far. So please believe me.
Number 4 is another shocker, blindside time. Despite sporting an impressive 0% win rate, the only tribe here to do so, the main reason I have Matt Singh from Survivor Philippines at number 4 and perhaps not at number 1 is because Malcolm and Denise managed to really carry that torch to the end, both reaching the final 4 and birthing a strategy I enjoy bringing up known as the Intentional Matt Singh. Did you watch that video? The Intentional Matt Singh is named after this tribe. It's basically when you intentionally are terrible in the pre-merge challenges to reduce the target on your back tenfold by the time the game gets individual. It kind of worked unintentionally for Malcolm and Denise. Despite 4 of the 6 original Matt Singh members winning zero challenges total, M&D won a combined 14 the rest of the season, which I believe should be worth something when calculating just how bad of a tribe they were, or just how good of a tribe they were. not bottom 3. But okay, make no mistake, not even 14 challenge wins can make up for their terrible performance. I mean, they're in the bottom 4. It doesn't get much worse.
And, you know, for the first few challenges, you know, I think we all, to an extent, felt like we were being let down by everybody else. And I'll tell you, when you're the one who lets people down, it, you know, stings double. So that's totally on me today.
Number 3 is the greatest of all time, at least when it comes to getting third anyway, as the bronze medal goes to Foa Foa from Survivor Samoa. Foa Foa managed to win only 2 of 10 challenges in the pre-merge. An abysmal record, really, but it does help that the 4 members who survived that apocalypse all reached the final 5, racking up a handful of post-merge wins along the way. Still not enough to bring them up much more, but it did spare them from last place, which is something.
I emptied all the water out of all the canteens. I plan on weeding out the weak right off the bat. I plan on making it as miserable as possible for everybody.
And now for something truly completely different. As somebody who likes to think that they know a lot about Survivor, I didn't expect this tribe at all to be number 2, which I will say is partially why I find crunching the numbers so intriguing in the first place. Stats like this pop up and I'm left trying to explain how it happened. Number 2 is Coyopa. Coyopa from Survivor San Juan del Sur. As a tribe, they went to 6 challenges and they only won 1 of them. And if you include those reward hero duels, they were like 1v1 blood versus water-esque, then Coyopa went from 1-6 to 2-11, which is like a 2% increase from 16 to 18%. That is laughably bad. Combine that with the individual win rate of each member in the tribe, just 20% total. Overall, you're looking at a really weak tribe with some really poor numbers. Also, the only player from that tribe to win a hero duel for reward was Wes when he beat his dad, Keith. Way to go, Wes.
Now, scarfing down burritos, quesadillas, and margaritas and beer. I just wish I had the willpower to control myself. It was all fun and games until I felt like crap.
But now we get to the granddaddy of them all. Easily the worst performing tribe in Survivor history, and it wasn't even close. Other than Matt Singh, who put up a whopping 0% win rate as a tribe, this number 1 tribe was trailing right behind them, and it was actually pretty close, but they competed in way more than just 4 challenges. Likewise, the number 1 tribe was number 2, the second worst on the individual performance list, which is also pretty impressive in that they were not number 1 in either stat, but collectively come together to form a recipe for utter disaster. If you're not sure who I'm talking about by now, I'm talking about Ravu, the down-and-out have-not tribe from Survivor Fiji. But let me just break it down for you. Through 12 challenges, they won once. I mean, I know that's a trend with this video and I've said that a couple times, but really 1 challenge in 12 through multiple iterations as a tribe. Likewise, with a 19% individual win rate, they are basically at Maraamu levels of terrible. However, I gotta bring this up, this is too funny. If I take Earl and Yowman out of this tribe from this stat, because they were actually in that tribe, believe it or not, basically if you made Ravu from a tribe of 10 to a tribe of 8, their individual win rate drops from 19% to 6%. Earl and Yao had 15 of the 21 wins, but the rest, they just had 6.
What is the state of the tribe, Anthony?
Tired.
Yao Man.
Not very happy.
Michelle.
Hungry.
Rocky.
Tired.
Mookie.
Bad.
I'm watching a group of people that are disintegrating emotionally before my eyes.
Maybe being a have-not contributed to this, maybe it didn't, but either way, that is going to be the list. That's going to be the whole big picture list, the ranking, the whole shebang. The worst performing tribes in Survivor history. Will Manu join these ranks soon? Will anyone else in the future join these ranks? Either way, let me know what you guys think about this ranking. Maybe one day I will go over my least favorite tribes, but regardless, just wanted to say my name is Peridiam, saying thank you for watching. Don't forget to win a damn challenge or 2 on the way out. Please, could ya? 0%. And I will see you in the next video once I learn to make a fire, because honestly, planning for the worst doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all.
David, Wentworth, Lauren, Mad Dog, the tribe has spoken. Wendy, the tribe has spoken.
Time for you to go.